Oh my God, this is unacceptable. I failed as a mother, Mooney. You've disgraced me.
Harley.
Yeah, Mom, you're a disgrace.
Hi guys, it's Hadley. Today I'm going to be talking to you about this film that I think is criminally underappreciated, The Florida Project, by Sean Baker, both writer and director and editor, I think, total, creative mind. So I saw this film a little under a year ago. It came to my college town, and there was this guy that I met at a kind of film workshop seminar thing, and he was like, "Oh, you want to go see a movie?" And I was like, "Sure, give it a try." And I recommended, I was like, "We should go see The Florida Project. I really want to see it. I'm a huge fan. I'm a huge fan of just Florida," which sounds really stupid. I'm a huge fan of Disney World, but that is what made me want to see the movie initially, because it's called The Florida Project, and I was like, it has to include Disney World at some point. I was right. But so me and this guy, we went to go see this movie. He had already seen it, but he agreed to see it again with me, and so I was like, And so we went and saw it, and I cried. I cried my eyes out at the very end. I was kind of bawling on our semi-date, and he didn't like it that much. He did not like the ending, where I loved the ending. So just to say, our relationship didn't quite work out, but I got to see an amazing movie out of it, so I'm happy that it happened, I suppose. Okay, so it's about a mother-daughter relationship, and the mother's name is Haley. She's probably in her early 20s, maybe late 20s, kind of hard to tell, and her daughter Mooney, and the mother is played by Bria Vinate. I don't know quite how to say her name, but she is fantastic in the film. And in my kind of research about the film after I saw it, I found out that Sean Baker and his kind of casting team were looking to hire someone. They had explored through Instagram, and they'd found this girl's Instagram account, and they just loved her. They thought she was like kind of a perfect match for the part, but they wanted to find like an actress like her, and they were just struggling so hard, so they reached out to her because they saw her on Instagram, and she got the part, and she is amazing in it. It feels so natural. She really captures, I think, kind of what this mother is going through. And so her daughter Mooney is played by Brooklyn Prince, who is amazing. This little girl, she can, like, no joke, she can act. In the behind the scenes features, they show kind of the parts that she was allowed to ad-lib, and then the parts where Sean Baker would kind of feed her lines, and she's the most adorable thing on the earth. She makes this movie. And so it's about their relationship and their struggles. Haley struggles to kind of support her daughter and their livelihood, what it is, and then their struggles kind of with child services, trying to keep the family together. Why I love this film technically is because of Sean Baker's amazing ability to capture a perspective, which I feel like we don't see very much in Hollywood anymore, because the objectivity of the camera is so hard to deal with while also trying to create a distinct perspective for a film. Like, think of films like Memento, maybe even like Amélie, just kind of films that it's from that character's perspective. It's not kind of just a broader, like maybe Avengers kind of movie. That's not really from anybody's perspective. We are just kind of looking in. The whole film is from Mooney's perspective, and you can tell because of the camera angles, which are very low, from the perspective of the children. Sometimes adults' heads are cut off, Charlie Brown-esque, but not as cheesy. Colors are brighter, things are kind of fantastical, and even things that are kind of like are wrong or off. For instance, in this one scene, I'll try not to ruin anything, Mooney and her friends go to this abandoned housing kind of area in Florida. Once again, Sean Baker referencing the 2008 housing crisis. Mooney and her friends go to these abandoned houses, and kind of, just kids being kids, they're about 7 years old maybe, are playing around, kind of destroying things, playing house. Mooney goes around saying "Oh, I'd put my bed here, I'd put my toys over here," and it's very sweet, and you just kind of get caught up in their imagination and their moment, while at the same time knowing what they're doing is wrong, they're trespassing, it's dangerous, we don't know what has gone on in these houses, what is going on in these houses. So just that kind of duality of realizing the perspective that the film is from and then realizing your outward perspective hypothetically as like an adult with more experience. It is just amazingly done. Sean Baker did a great job. His cinematographer is amazing. The amount of like colors and clouds. Their skylines are beautiful because Florida is a beautiful place, and just to capture that. Behind the scenes on the DVD, learned that they had a lot of weather issues, a lot of rainy days when they didn't want to have rainy days, and sunny days when they wanted to have rainy days. But one of the cool things about this film, there's this one part, it's featured in the trailer pretty heavily. It's even featured on the front. You see this rainbow. I'm sure this one isn't the one from the film. But in the film, Mooney and her friend Jancy are just kind of chilling, whatever. And this huge rainbow, like double rainbow, like, woo, comes over the hotel that Mooney lives in, called the Magic Castle. That's a little, reference to Disney for you. Magic Castle, Magic Kingdom. So this beautiful double rainbow comes over the Magic Castle. And Sean Baker had it in his head that he wanted that to be part of the film. He figured that they'd have to kind of special effect it back into the film after the fact. But coincidentally enough, one day a double rainbow just appears over this hotel that they have rented out for the filming. And it worked perfectly, and I just feel like that was kind of a magical little blessing on this film, that they actually had a real rainbow going on. So that's why I love the movie technically. Emotionally, it's so raw, it feels so real. This relationship between mother and daughter is beautiful. I have a little sister who is 7, about Mooney's age, and I assume that I'm around Haley's age, maybe a little bit younger. But that their relationship, how like sweet they are with each other, and how much they care for each other, despite Haley maybe not being able to take care of her as well as Mooney should be taken care of. But Mooney loves her, and also emotionally, their relationship with Bobby, who's played by Willem Dafoe, who is amazing in this film, who is kind of the Magic Castle, the hotel they live in, its manager, I suppose. Their relationship, you can see that he cares. It's just like a beautiful just moment in time, a beautiful picture of how much people can care and people can love despite any sort of circumstances that they are unfortunately in. Ratings wise, I think I gave this movie, let's see what I gave it on IMDb. I'd give this movie an 8 or 9 out of 10. It is beautiful. I can watch it again and again. Not that there are like, things to see, time and time again, Easter eggs, blah, blah, blah. But it's just like the story is so beautiful, and it's joyful, and it's sad, and it makes you feel things real deep. And the ending is just like, it's beautiful. It's like you get to see Disney World from another perspective if you only know it kind of from a visitor's perspective. This is the perspective of someone who lives around Disney World year long, but does not directly participate in it, just indirectly participates in it. At the end, there is a more direct reference to Disney World, which I loved and found so heartbreaking and so sweet. So let me know down in the comments if you know what I'm talking about and like how you felt about it. The guy that I went and saw the film with it didn't really kind of understand, I guess, what Sean Baker was going for in those last moments, but I feel like it was more of an emotional journey and into Mooney, a 7-year-old mind, and what she sees as kind of the ultimate, and what she sees as safe and happy. Bechdel test wise, definitely passes. Haley has a friend who's a female who also has a young son, and they definitely talk to each other about Mooney. They talk to each other just about work and life. Mooney is a young girl. She has a little girl friend, and it definitely, I feel like even though it might not be a good role model movie, it shows how complex women are without men around. Bobby is really the only strong male character in the film, and although he is great, it's held up by women, which is awesome. Right now, it is June 27th, 2018, And if you go on Amazon Prime, let's see if it's still there. Yep, okay, so right now, if you have Amazon Prime, it is on Amazon Prime right now, so go watch it, love it, cry, be happy. It's beautiful. I hope you go and check out this movie on Amazon Prime while it's still out. I will try and put up a little thing once it's not out on Amazon Prime anymore. Hopefully it'll be there for a while and you can see it. It is an amazing film and I hope you enjoy it. Let me know if you have any films that you think are underappreciated that I can check out on Netflix, Amazon Prime. I'll even look in my local library if it's just on DVD. So thanks for watching and I will see you later. Bye!